can't see much, but you know, my lifted truck that I've loved for, I think it's been what, we'll say 7-8 months. I'm having to unlift it. So after 8 months, I've had nothing but issues, vibration after vibration after vibration, and I've gone through, I've tried to fix everything. I've tried to fix the drive shaft, I've tried to get the tires rebalanced multiple times, and basically just due to, you know, safety and the fact that I'm sick of riding down the road in a massage chair, we're unlifting the truck today. So contacted Rough Country, and they're going to basically refund me the money for the lift kit. Long story, which I'll get to in just a minute. If you don't want to listen to that, you could go ahead and skip through where I'm taking everything off. But basically the lift kit, I ordered it back when their website said it would fit a 2-wheel drive Ram 1500. I was like, cool, I have a 2-wheel drive Ram 1500. But mine is a Warlock model, which is a little bit different. So mine has a 2-piece drive shaft. So the angles are a little bit different if you lift it. The truck also has a 1-inch lift from the factory, which also changes up some things when you lift it. And so my pinion angle, the drive shaft angle, all that good stuff is different. So when you go down the road, you know, the vibration from the drive shaft is rough. So I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. First off, let me start off by saying it's cold this morning. This is this Georgia weather. It's like 34 degrees this morning or something. But I'm gonna be taking a lift kit off in my dirt road. I live on a dirt driveway, so it's super nice. But anyways, my drive shaft, I dropped it 1.5 inches. I dropped the carrier bearing 1.5 inches with these little spacers from Max Track, because originally the drive shaft, being that it was up 1.5 inches, I got a stutter whenever I would start. You know, when you go from like 0 to about 5 miles an hour, you get a stutter. Well, that was because of the carrier bearing kind of binding up. Well, and then you come down a little bit of ways and you have your second piece to your drive shaft with your it's like I guess a slip yoke or whatever you want to call it, and then the pinion angle for your rear end and all that. Well, whenever you're going down the road, I know it's kind of hard to tell on camera. I try to show it the best I can, but the angles are either too high or too low from where they're supposed to be from factory. As in the rear end, you know, this part here is probably up to about right here once the lift is off. So whenever you're going down the road, you feel kind of a vibration in the slip hook here. It'll, you know, go up and down, or you'll feel a stutter in this, or you'll feel a little bit of driveline vibration from either the tires or just the road or anything like that. Well, then Rough Country sent me this bracket that I put on here right before I went off-roading, and this bracket was supposed to move the control arm up to kind of help with the pinion angle, and then keep the rear end, you know, more stout, straight, kind of from vibrating. Well, that didn't work. It fixed it for the time being, and that's where I'm at now. So because of that, as I lay here and try to warm up, thinking I've had nothing but issues. You know, my fiance, that's one of the reasons that I haven't posted a video in a while. So I got engaged and been working and all that, but the vibration is so bad that anytime I drive down the road, you know, I have to deal with it. And so instead of doing all that, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the lift kit off, you know, try to do better with gas mileage and try to turn the truck into something else, because obviously having a 2-wheel drive lifted truck is kind of weird. So let me show you what we've got and what I'll be installing on the truck, hopefully, and then that's what we'll do after the lift kit. All right, so first things first, as I get ready to start this awesome journey, find all my factory components. So these are my front springs, my factory knuckles, which is how I achieved the 6-inch lift, because what it does is it takes the knuckle from right here and moves the bearing here, moves it down some, and that's what kind of gives you your lift. But the other good part is this here is made out of aluminum. So this is super light, so that's going to help out with, like I said, trying to get gas mileage since we're taking the lift off. Got an extra jack, my other knuckle, a box full of nuts and bolts that's been in the back of my truck for I don't know how long, and then front rear shocks, and these are their sway bar end links for the rear. So I've got everything that I need. Now the fun part is to try to get all of this done today. Let's see, what time is it now? All right, 9:37, and I'm just now getting ready to lift up the truck. I'm hoping to have all of this finished by, like I said, probably about 4 or 5. I have family coming over at 2 to do Christmas presents that we didn't get to do, but oh, that's right, I forgot. We won't be installing those front shocks. We'll be installing these Bilsteins. So these are gonna look really nice. So I'm gonna try to get those cleaned up too, just to kind of have everything all good to go. But let's start by lifting the back of the truck up and getting these parts installed. Sorry, getting these parts, well, they're just gonna sit here, but we're gonna get the old ones off. I'll show you what all the components with the Rough Country lift, what they came with. And then just for fun, I think, like, since I said we're taking the rear off first, I think it'll be kind of funny just to squat the truck, like I said, to see what it looks like. And yeah. Oh, one other thing, I got a tonneau cover. This was off of eBay. I think it was like 400 bucks. That actually helped gas mileage by about, I'd say like a mile per gallon. Went from like 12.9 to about 13.9, 14.3. So a tonneau cover, definitely something to look into if you don't have one. 5100s. This will hopefully lift the front end up enough. So right now I've got, we'll say 35s. My Aturos aren't true 35s. They're like 34.2s or something. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to clear these. If not, I also have a 2.5 inch spacer that I ordered, I think from Supreme Suspensions. I didn't order the most expensive. I know that there's, like, you know, different brands that I could have ordered from, but the Bilstein, I think, lifts the front end. I think it's 1 3/4 inches, so almost 2 inches. So I should be able to clear these, because when, you know, on a leveling kit you can clear 33s no problem. So that's what I'm trying to figure out today. I'm gonna try those Bilsteins out. If the Bilsteins don't work, then I have a backup plan. Those just got delivered yesterday, so they're actually in my mailbox, so I'm gonna go pick those up. Let's go ahead and get this rear end jacked up and the rear end started. I figured I have, it's 9 o'clock in the morning here. So I'm hoping to have this done by 3 or 4 o'clock today. So today's Sunday. That way I have Monday off as well. That way I could go get my front end aligned and all that. But I'm gonna do the rear end first. That way we can see what the truck looks like squatted, just for fun, because I know how bad these trucks can look squatted, how any truck can look squatted. So rear end should be the easiest. That way if I do need to drive somewhere, I still can. With the front end being kind of messed up, I don't think I'd be able to drive anywhere, but we'll get the rear end taken off, these wheel wells taken out, tires taken off, and then do our best to get this truck unlifted. All right, well, my sketchy setup hasn't been too bad so far. So I've got one of my jacks, or one of my my jacks, with a block on this beautiful Gen Y hitch. Thanks, JW, for letting me borrow that so I could haul the boat. So now I've got the rear end all dropped down. It's on jack stands and a jack to help me lift it back up. So yeah, so my dad went and got me a spring compressor. So I've got the springs taken off now, got the boot, and in case you didn't know, this is what Rough Country gives you. This is your spacer. That's what helps you achieve that 6-inch lift. On the rear and everything, I think that's like a 3.5 inch coil spacer. So next thing I've got to do is I've got to take off the sway bar end links. I've got to take off the block and this bracket here. Once I get those off, we should be almost done, other than the control arm brackets up front there. But we are getting so much closer to having
the lift off, and then I've got the whole entire front. But got the, like I said, I got the spring off. I've got the old shock, or the stock shock, back in place just for the time being. I've got to take this brake line off, and then like I said, this bracket here. And then I think we should be good after I take this off as well. So we should be good. We're moving along pretty good. I think it's like 11:30 now. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would for sure, but we're moving along. All right, so we're looking pretty good. Shocks are back on, springs back in place. Control arm is back in place, but you tighten that when it's back on the ground. Sway bar end link's in place. I need to tighten that back down once it's on the ground. But I think we're about ready to put the tires back on and sit it down on the ground and then see what it looks like squatted. All right, so we're coming along and we are officially squatted for all of about however much longer I've got until I start on the front. This looks, I can't say it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look awful, but definitely not something I want to drive around with or say I'm affiliated with the squatted crew. But front should be pretty easy. Everything on there is just a knuckle lift. So I got to take the brakes off, knuckle off, and then try to put everything back together. And let's see here. So, you know, in the front, let's see what I got. Well, I might end up using this coil spacer. So this is a 2.5 inch from Supreme Suspensions. So they weren't super expensive. I think for the kit it was like 80 bucks, but the welds are pretty decent. Nothing too crazy, but I think that should help if the Bilsteins don't lift it up enough. So I did go with the Bilstein 5100s. So I'll probably put that on first, see how it looks. If it's not enough, then I'll end up putting this on there. Really the thing is just hoping that I can clear the 35s. So let's get to it. So a cool way to show everybody why I'm taking my lift off is my drive shaft and my pinion angle. So this will be my pinion angle and this will be my drive shaft. Whenever it's going straight, it rides pretty smooth. But anytime that drive shaft moves, let's see here. See, it vibrates. So when it goes out smooth, no vibration. So anyways, y'all get the point. But that's what it's doing, and that's why I'm taking this lift off. All right, just a little update. It is now, let's see, 7:35. I started this at 9 in the morning, and I got the rear done. Then I got to the front, and I cannot get the rough country knuckle off. Not sure what the deal is. I have hammered on the top, I've hammered on the bottom, I've damaged both ball joints, the one on each side. I can't get the one on the driver's side or the passenger side off. Not just that, but the shock itself, the bushing at the bottom has also gone bad, so I can almost not get the shock off because I can't get to the bolts. So I've stripped one of those trying to get it off, so I might end up having to cut it. But rough country, if you ever see this, y'all need to figure out how to do better on this, because now I have to buy 2 ball joints and probably cut into my upper control arm, or just go, or lower control arm, or just go buy 2 new lower control arms. So I got my dad to help me. We're gonna see if we can get it off. Hey, look at there. What was that, 4 hits before I hit record?
Yeah.
But hey, we got one off, but we shouldn't have had to do that. And then, let me come over here. Let's see here. So that is me trying to get it off. So the boot's trashed, and I'm gonna have to go get some new ball joints, which really sucks. But the other thing is, I don't know if you can see down here, but if you can see the whole entire shock, the bushing has completely come out. So if you look really closely here at the bolt, I can't get the bolt off. So ended up kind of rounding it off, but I'm gonna end up probably using a pry bar or something and trying to get that off. So now I'm gonna go to the, I think O'Reilly's probably or somewhere, and buy 2 ball joints and try to press those out tonight. What was that, 5 swings?
Yep.
Now if only we could have done that hours ago. So now let's go to the store, buy a ball joint press, and I think this one here actually got it worse than the driver's side. Let's see. I don't know if you can really tell what that is on the camera, but that is a busted boot. And if you look at this, it almost looks like it can't be repaired. Almost look like, it's been a long day, I can't half speak. This almost looks like it can't even be swapped out, but my buddy at Mopar said it could, so I'm gonna try to press it out and do the best I can. Okay, so old shock is out, old spring is out. Almost killed myself with it by accident. The awesome compressor that we have, you know, it kind of slipped, and so can't really see it, but there's a dent there, and then it shot from here all the way over there in the yard, and then sparks went flying. It was the craziest thing. But that one's in there, got a jack holding it in place. I've already tightened everything down, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the new Bilsteins in place. So I've got these are the 5100s. I'm gonna get these put in. They look pretty cool, and these are gonna let us achieve that it's like 1 3/4 inch lift. So we'll put this in and see what it looks like. It is now 10:30. I started this at 7:30, and I've got the rear done, one side done. I've got the driver's side completely buttoned up. I'm about to put the tire on and then start on the other side, but at least I can do it a little bit safer. I have the jack kind of sitting in the middle of the truck. It's not the safest thing, but we're gonna put the tire on, hopefully be able to clear this with just the Bilsteins. If not, I do have those spacers that we'll put in tomorrow. But hopefully the hopefully the tire clears. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop it down, and then we'll get a good taste of what it looks like versus it being squatted. And one thing I can big say, man, I'm really tired. These McTuning rock lights, they have been wonderful working at night. My whole entire wheel well's lit up. I can see everything. I was earlier struggling with my little flashlight over here, and now I've got the lights. I'm able to see everything. It's great. So if you don't have some, I have a video that I'll link in the description as well. Make sure y'all get you some. These lights are awesome. Okay, so everything is now done. I have a couple of things to touch up once it's on the ground, but let's see how big of a gap these Bilsteins give me. Oh, I don't think that's too bad. So I'd say pretty leveled out. Biggest thing now is to make sure that the the truck can clear. I know it clears in the front. The only thing that I'm worried about is that little piece there in the back. So I might have to do some trimming right here. But other than that, I'm going to finish everything up, button it all up. And guys, I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's now almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been doing this since about 8 a.m. and I'm tired. So I will see you guys in the morning, and hopefully get some coffee in the morning.